Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here on Prokhorovka, Night Battle, Tier 8. I'm in the US. Premium heavy tank, the T34, and, well, we're top tier. However, this is a very slow, big, heavy tank, and I'm on a very open map in Prokhorovka, and still, I'm going to go to the centre. I think the centre is the play to make, generally, with heavy tanks. In Prokhorovka, I've given up on the hill. I don't think the hill, the zero line, is that much good. You really need a tank with a... I think you need decent enough mobility and gun depression. There's no point in going to the centre of the hill. The chances are you're going to get spotted and murdered by artillery or murdered by enemy tanks in the centre of the field. Though somebody has to go to the hill, if it's a very useful place to go for spotting and for spotting enemy tanks. However, the usual problem on World of Tanks is that too many people go to the hill. Too many people stay at the back of the map and not enough people actually go to the central line of the map. You don't have to cross the ridgeline, at least not in the early part of the game. Generally you can stay low on the ridgeline, spot the guys that are cresting the ridgeline for the people at the back of the map to shoot them. The opportunities for shooting people past the central ridgeline is not as good as it used to be. Both ends of the map have been flattened considerably over the years by wargaming. So the sniping on the K line or sniping on the A line is no longer really a viable strategy in my opinion. You just don't see the enemies at the back of the map. Even if your allies are cresting the ridgeline and spotting them, you're not going to get a line of sight on them. Now the enemy have a lot of tanks going for the hill. The trouble is, most of our tanks that are on the eastern side of the map are on places that they are totally useless. That tank destroyer and whatever else is down there at G7, he's not going to see most of the tanks. The guy at F7 is going to die. And the rest of them have pushed too far out. There's room for about 3 tanks down there at H, whatever it is, H0. And that's about it, and that's as much as should be there, and even then they're going to be vulnerable to artillery fire. That said, there's only one enemy artillery, it's pretty short range, and it's in the middle of the map, because it's been lobbing shells over my head for the last few minutes. Now, the best strategy for tanks with good gun depression, or even not so good gun depression, is to come up at either end of the map here and shoot across the map. You don't shoot at the guys directly in front of you, you shoot sideways, where you have your best gun depression and you're least exposed to terrain, and try and get guys that are across the map from you that are much easier to shoot at and are engaged or focused on people in front of them and not shooting back at you. So, angle, okay, I fired a little bit too far forward there on the 50 TP, bounced the shot, but at the same time it's a more useful way of doing things rather than trying to get position to get the gun down on people straight in front of you, because then you're going to expose your entire tank, and all you need to do is get tracked once and you're dead. Now we're kind of holding our own in the centre, but we are very weak on the western side of the map, and we've taken the hill, but I don't think it's going to do us any good. Those tanks in the centre are now spotting tanks to the north of them. There's a guy inside the lake, I don't know what he's doing there. But they're also vulnerable, I think, to fire from tanks over this side of the map as well. So we're a tank up at the moment, but we're about to lose the light tank. He's gone into the dip, the bowl there a little too prematurely. That bowl used to be a glorious spot at one point for spotting enemy tanks, but it was never a spot for light tanks. It was a spot for tanks with really strong turrets. I've had great games in the Cromwell before they nerfed the turret a bit. In that, or not the Cromwell, but the Comet, before they nerfed the turret a bit inside that location. But it also, the map was quite different at that point in time. Back at those times, the back end of the map, the A line, well maybe the J position on the western side of the map were elevated ground, and you could spot right back to the end of the map from inside that bowl. And then tank destroyers that were at high ground at the back of your map could shoot basically anything you spotted. And now we're in a situation where the ends of the map, the A line and the K line, are actually depressed. They're low down, or at least lower down than they were. And you're not going to really spot anything across the map, or stuff that's highlighted like that is not going to be observable. No, I'm not saying that right. Stuff that the guys in the central line coming over the top will observe or spot won't have, there won't be a line of sight and stuff at the back of the map trying to shoot them. Except for artillery, who don't need line of sight. And now we've discovered that the enemy are actually holding the hill to the north of the river in force, and they've killed the guys around the village to the west of the lake, and we're about to lose the hill. We have one tank left on the hill, supported by artillery, and he's going to be facing up against multiple enemies, and we're 2 tanks down, so we're going to lose the hill. And that bat chat is giving the T34 E2 a torrid time. And they're fast moving, they're hard to hit. And again, there's nobody at the back of the map that's been any position to help. And the heavy tank there at G6 or whatever it is, he's neither here nor there. He's not far forward enough to be really spotting people coming over the ridge. He's actually quite easy to bring under fire because you don't have to come up to the top of the ridge to hit him. And he's not far back enough to be not spotted and shoot people as they cross the ridge and are spotted by the people patrolling along the base of the ridge. He's also going to be probably the first to die when the enemy clear out our artillery from the hill and come in along the railway bridge over there at J7. So I have come over here to assist the tank destroyer because it's the nearest friendly unit to me. And we need to get rid of the 50 TP because he's kind of holding that side of it there, and he's stopping the two of us from effectively combining. At least if we can get rid of him, we can start focusing on the other side of the map. So I'm going to try and put a shot on my AMX65T. I have done so, but he's been intact so far and has not taken any damage whatsoever. Meanwhile, the lads crossing the ridgeline are just knocking socks off of that tank down there. It's halfway down the map there, and once again, I think my shot went to the right of him, to the left of him there. Didn't hit him anyway. I didn't do any damage, which is a pity. We could have really done with taking out that motherland at that point in time. I think there was probably the internet wasn't great at this point in time. That there was a delay between the server reticle and what I was experiencing locally, because just the shot on the motherland would seem to be an indicator of it. But there was a very critical occasion later on where it made a huge difference, and we'll see it when we come to it now. Didn't give enough lead to the bat chat, then a hard target to hit. And this is the kind of game where the rate of fire on this tank really, starts to tell against it. If in similar circumstances, I would actually much rather have a T29 or a T32 on my corner than the T34, because I know there's much higher alpha on the gun, but the slow rate of fire and the long aim time is a real problem in this kind of crisis, last stand type situation. However, we can't. We chose the tank we're in, and we have to make the best of it. Now, if he crests the ridge here, it'd be perfect. But he's obviously too smart for that. He's not showing me anything really. And the AMX65T is a very tempting target, but the Ferdinand takes him out, and then the Carnarvon is joining the fight. And he's an intact Carnarvon as well. There's no damage done to him. Batchat's making his run around me, and he has beaten my turret rotation, but the Ferdinand takes him out, and that is a very good shot, and really saved my ass there. So we've managed to claw it back to 3 tanks, so only 1 tank of a difference. However, one of them is a hold down Carnarvon, and he is going to be a real problem. And then the tank destroyer, the Iron Rain, appears, and he is also intact. No damage taken prior to this whatsoever, and fortunately we know about him, but at the same time we're in trouble, because the more we're paying attention to him, obviously the more opportunity for the other 2 tanks to come in behind us, and he comes over the top here. Now, my reticle was definitely pointing at him, and that shot went well to the rear. So there was probably 2 or 3 seconds follow-up, maybe longer, between the servo reticle and where I thought the gun was pointing, because that would have been a very valuable hit. If I'd hit him that time, he'd be dead now, and I wouldn't have to follow him up here to try and kill him. And furthermore, the Ferdinand would have been alive too, because the Ferdinand would have gotten the kill shot when he fired at the Iron Rain, thereby eliminating him, and therefore it would have been 2 versus 2, and we would have had a chance, possibly. Although the hold down Carnarvon would still have been difficult. Anyway, we got almost 100k silver out of that, did nearly 3k damage. Got a Confederate reward, 2nd class mastery, and we were back up to a mark of excellence now. I've had a mark of excellence in this tank for years, but I really did feel sorry for the Ferdinand. He did nearly 4,500 damage in this game. How hard do you have to carry in order to get a game to go your way? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.